Folks, right here with another video for you for Iratus, Lord of the Dead. We're going to talk about how to beat Eternal Harvest. So we're going to start a new game up on EH. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the architecture buff, because Digger's Soul generation on Eternal Harvest is so bad that you need every little help that you can get. We're going to talk about minions. I like a stress build for the first part of the game, regardless of what you want to transition into later. I think you do want to transition depending on the items you get. There's some key class items or key artifacts, key items that you want to use in different builds. And until you get those items or until you get to a certain level, like, for example, the Bone Golem doesn't really come online until you get to level 6, and you can have both his Vigor regeneration and his Bone Armor upgrades. If you don't have these two things, the Bone Golem's, pretty mediocre, but once you have those two things and a reasonable hit point pool, the Bone Golem's pretty good. So, at the beginning, not great, so we're going to use some different units. So that's just one example. But we're going to start with the Bride. Bride is a great starter unit. On the first floor, there aren't a ton of units that attack the back row. And even though we're going to be running a stress build, the Bride has a fantastic stress attack. It's not the strongest single target stress attack that you could pick, but it has interrupt stances. And interrupt stances is extremely important on the first floor, both early on for those stabby assassin guys, and then later on for the pikemen and the prophet guy that puts a ward on himself, goes to the back, and tries to end the world. He's no fun. Second unit we're going to get is the Wraith. The Wraith is probably the strongest overall stress caster in the early game. We definitely want him. He's a good position 3. He can attack 3 squares, or he has a really solid single target, especially after upgrade. 150% base damage. Fantastic. Removes all buffs. This is a great single target attack for the second half of the fight. Take the Banshee, mainly because she stuns, but she's also got some other good abilities. She's got a really nice stress attack with a shuffle. And then she's got a decent debuff to your opponent's attack. So any time you can mitigate opponent damage is great on Eternal Harvest. Then we're going to take a Black Widow. She doesn't synergize with any of the rest of our units, but you know what? She's a good tank, and we need someone to soak up the damage and protect the Banshee until she can have some evasions and items. So we're going to start off with the first fight here. We're going to get one of each here. Worst thing to note is, because of our stress build, we don't have to worry about the 2 blocks in the miner, so that's great. Just ignore that. We're going to hop in our stance, and we're going to use our reduction ability. Make sure they all get -6 attacks, so that's good. We want to pick which one of these we want to focus on. We usually pick the Hammer because he stuns and knocks people out of position, so it's pretty annoying. So if I'm going to start focusing on one, it'll be the one. So he's gone berserk, so we want to make sure that we stay on him as much as possible. I'm going to kick our Black Widow back into position here. And yeah, we're just going to go full single target on him for now, just because that extra damage he's doing is not welcome. We don't want that right now. So we will use the stun, though, because that's mitigating so much damage. But then we'll go right back to trying to just take this guy off the battlefield. Just keep hitting him with everything we got until he goes down. Could really use a shade here, but we don't have one. There we go, we got rid of it. Okay, these other 2 are fairly easy. We've got the stance interruption to deal with this guy, so we don't have to worry about pulling with the Black Widow, so we'll use that here. He's running away anyway. Don't think there's much chance of killing him. Well, maybe, if we stun. Just say not much chance of killing him. We'll give it a try. Get the parts instead of just the EXP. Get another crack at him. These are all strong single target stress attacks. It's all 100, 120, 150% stress attacks. So we've got good AoE, but we've got, and with both of these two, but we've got even better single target stress attacks for the last guy. which is important because the last thing you want to do is have the last guy do a bunch of damage to your team while you thought you already wanted to fight, and all of a sudden something's dead or at half health. So another thing you got to worry about with the stress, they tend to get inspired more, it seems. I don't know what the numbers are. Maybe that's just pure anecdotal, and I've got nothing to back that up. But it certainly feels like they get inspired better. So we're going to be looking for the shackles, I think it is, that makes it so they can't get inspired. So if we find that item, like I said, the items are going to determine what build we go. If we find that item, then yeah, we might just keep this stress team for the rest of the run. But if we don't find that item, we'll have to transition at some point. Maybe even before the second floor with those dangerous dwarves. But for now, we're actually getting some pretty good regen here. While this guy refuses to die. There you go, finally. Alright, what do we get? That'll come in useful later on. Maybe our first fight with some casters. Okay, our first level up. We're definitely taking Vigor on the Black Widow, just because that makes her regenerate more when we use her stance. That's pretty much all she does. Banshee, we're going to take Evasion and then Dread. So Evasion first, Dread second. Wraith, Dread first, Evasion second. And the Bride, I think we're just going to go straight up Dread, but she didn't level up, so we don't have to worry about that. Don't have enough Digger Souls. We do have a talent point. We're going to take Drums of War, because we're always going straight down to Battle Eternal, even on Eternal Harvest. The payoff is just that good. We're going to take a look. We do want a class item, so we're going to keep that in mind. Class items are very important. But not to the exclusion of anything else. Obviously, artifacts are great. So if we were to go Artifact, Cultist, we could get EXP item here. Coffin. That's pretty good. There aren't any fountains. This doesn't give us any items. This is item coffin. I think we already found the best path. You know, artifact experience, fountain, event, cultist is pretty good too. Well, let's decide after our fight here. Let's see what we get here. Okay, that's pretty good. We wouldn't take that. We'd take it if we'd wear it if we just got it for free. Okay, so it's between these two. It's a bit of a tough call. I think it's the Amulet of Power. I think obviously the uncommon parts would be better in the long run. But at this point of the game, I think we really need to be worried about just staying alive and not having our minions die. So that little bit of extra attack is going to be really helpful. So again, we're going to go on our stance. Try to stay as healthy as possible. We're actually going to wait with the Bride here because we want to deal with that. Oh, what was that? What did I just do there? I just hit the wrong button. It's not what we meant to do. Alright, so we're going to interrupt that stance. Back in our stance. We're going to fix our formation after our little boo-boo there. Got another stance to deal with, so you see why the Bride is so helpful. We've got 2 insanities. This guy's doing damage to the team. This guy's just unlucky. So I think we'll focus on Mr. Unlucky. For this one, we'll just do the AoE attack damage mitigation. That's his last block. We'll do front 2 since he's helping us out. We want these guys to go into their stances, so we have a way to mitigate it. Alright, let's try to take him out. Nice, first try. Enough stress for stun. Enough wrath for stun. That's going to make the rest of this fight pretty easy. Go with the AoE curse. Back in our stance. I think he's outlived his usefulness, so let's get him down to the point where he starts getting heart attack checks. I think we're going to do both here, just because we can do a heart attack check here. And also the mitigation damage. We don't really want him to flee, so let's... just 2 for 2 with the last hits. That's pretty good. Oh, that's nice. Vampire fangs. Brain. Don't really need the brain. I think we keep the bride the way she is. And who gets the vampire fangs? I guess that's a good question. It could be either one of these two. Probably the Wraith, because she's going to take more damage in position 2, even though he starts with a block and a ward. Still don't have enough Digger Souls. We don't have any talents. Now it's decision time, and I think we are going to go this way. I think the lure of the class item for the Banshee is just too high here. I think having that additional sustain on her when she dodges, so 20% vigor each time the enemy misses an attack against her, and then we're just going to pump this evasion up as high as it can go. And then she'll be our second line tank. Alright, third fight. We got double hunky here. So anticipate our Black Widow's going to get pushed around. Let's go get that stance. And minus damage, everybody. Get the most damaged guy and his friend here. What do we get? Iratus, great. So we'll let him stress out the rest of his team like he just did there. We're going to wait so that we're not making sure that we're not missing on a stun. He hasn't gone crazy yet, so let's start on him. What do you get? Hopeless. Berserk. Alright. I'm not going to ult here because we're saving it for the Banshee. She gets her stun off. Back in our stance. Don't really want him to run, so let's try to pick him off before he goes. Use this very strong single target attack to hopefully get him. Probably one more shot at him, 2 more shots. Actually, he's acting way back here. We'll get all 3 on him. There we go, we got him. Now, if we were losing the fight, we'd just let him run away, but we weren't, so... Let's tick him back up. We don't need mana for anything right now. That's unfortunate. Alright, let's get them stunned, because they're getting nothing here. Can't really heart attack either. Damage dealt by 50%. Let's get rid of this dude. Definitely focus the one that's Berserk, that's for sure. Monkeys are so annoying. We do both here just because we want the taking a chance of getting a heart attack on each tick. It's probably more valuable than the single target attack. Which one is it? This one? Alright, got it. And the rest of the way is just using our strong single target attacks. Try to hard attack the last remaining guy. And we're going to be coming out with close to full health. We'll pass up a good stun. Good, what do we get? Ectoplasm is good. 11 Digger Souls. That's probably enough. Yeah, so we'll get ourselves a Banshee, or a Wraith, sorry. The first one we're going to upgrade is always the Obelisk, right? If we want more Digger Souls. So that's good. Black Widow, the plan, hit points all the way up, so even though these other things could help us in the short term, we're just going to take this upgrade here. So she gets 5 hit points there. And a much better regeneration. Evasion and then Dread. So I like this one because it gives her 2 points of evasion, and also because it removes evasion from the opponents. And on Eternal Harvest, even your normal run-of-the-mill opponents have decent evasion. Got talent, but not much to do with it. 2 Digger Souls. Alright, so I think here what we're going to do is we're going to make a Dark Knight. Dark Knight, when you sacrifice him, gives the object that gives Iratus an extra level. So that's a really good one. And we get the Essence of Mind, which is nice. That's a mana regeneration item. We won't be using that just yet, because we're not using mana. We don't really have a... I mean, I guess we'd probably put it on the Bride, but we wouldn't be doing anything right now. We don't want the Bride to die and lose our item. Okay, another really simple fight. Those last words. I love it when they go in the stance. Goes right into the build's hands. Since he's hurt, we'll do the back two. Reduce their damage. The stance. Just keep working on this guy because he's the lowest. Good. Got our stun too. He's on our teams, hurting the rest of his friends. We'll just start working on these two now. What'd you get? Hopeless. Okay. Any chance we get stun mana? Not much, but we might as well wait and see what happens. Staying away from this guy because he's... I guess we're going to have to end that stance, so we'll do that. But we're avoiding him. Now he has no remaining sanity, so there's no point in keeping him around. So we will focus him down. We'll do these two. Ticking dot on there for extra happy heart attacks. Stun wrap is up, that's great. And again with the single target attacks. That is a phenomenal find. I don't know if that's the best thing we could have got, but it's pretty darn close. We got 3 talent points. We'll take Frenzied Howling, so extra dread when we got 50 Wrath. We will take the dread here. And the upgrade to the dread ability. This has pushback and ignores ward. That's better.
Serve me well, my minion.
Dread and then evasion, so we'll take the evasion. And this is the ability that we're using, so we'll use that one. Could take this one as well. Which one is it? This one. 150%, but we're using this more often, so we'll use that. Let's see what item we get. Ball chain, sadist hand, serpent skull. Don't really have any use for the ball and chain, or sorry, the leg cuffs. That would be great if we were playing a leg cuff build, but we'll just get the 10% damage. We'll just load up our Wraith here. So Vampire Fangs and Sadist Hands. He's our main man right now. 17 Digger Soul, only 1 talent point. Let's go to battle. Well, that's unfortunate. These guys really do a stance. So we'll just focus on the hunky because we don't want to be stunned. Oh. Forgot those guys could hit the back row. Do these two? Sorry, those three. Forgot we'd upgraded it. To minus damage. I don't mind the trap on him. We're going to keep doing the back three. This guy gets nasty when he gets up in the front row with whips and stuff, so don't want to neglect hurting him. Alright, so what do we got here? Hopeless and Betrayal. So Betrayal's great. Leave him alone and we'll focus on Mr. Hopeless. Did you just stun Mr. Hopeless? Or Mr. Betrayal? Oh well. Stuns are good. Alright, be well. That doesn't attack back row, huh? We'll go in on the minor. Extra action, huh? Keep him stunned. Okay, we're gonna wait here because we want him to get unstunned before we restun. We'll do the back three. Stance and stun. We're not getting much mileage out of this trail, but what can you do? Definitely this guy.
Become part of the breathless tide.
Now he's going to get crazy with his whips. Guess we could have waited there. Yeah, we would have had stun. We should have waited there. Getting not punished for it. There's only two of them left. How much hit points do you have? Oh, he's losing 40% vigor, so he's dead next turn. So we ignore him and focus on the Taskmaster. Get him nice and stand up. I want to talk about the whips. Just extra chip damage on our Banshee that we don't want. She's not that great at dodging yet. No, she's got that extra slipper in her inventory. She's only got one right now. Level 4 brain, that's cool. Which is our most important? I guess the Wraith. We're going to level him up because we're pretty confident about our situation right now. Guess it's an extra pip evasion. 1 talent point, 28 Digger Souls. We're waiting for 50, so nothing to do here. Could sacrifice another Black Knight to get another level for Iratus. That would be cool. It's a pretty big shortcut, though. Missing out on a lot of good stuff. We do want some other class items. So we got class item, coffin, and then choices. This is clearly the better route. So double spearman. See a little heal there? That's pretty good. Double spearman, I probably would have changed my mind if I'd seen double spearman. Well, not really. I'll just win the fight, but this will be a tough one. Her ability to dodge is going to be crucial here. We'll do front three here. Yeah, she's doing great. Keep it up, young lady. Alright, we're going to use our shuffle on the stance. Use our own stance. Wow, he's all messed up already, huh? He's worth hitting anyway. Now he's in the back, though. We'll take the front three. It's going better than I hoped. Hope this is good. Unfortunately, we got an Inspired here, but we've been pretty lucky. 10% of max sanity to self and all allies. Wow, that really sucks. We have to interrupt that stance, but we can't do it with her, I guess. We need to just go all in on this dude. Just using single target attacks. He needs to die like right now. I would love to get him out of his stance, but not at the cost of skipping a stun. And again, just the fact that he's that inspiration is so brutal, we're just going to ignore this stance and just keep on. Well, can't pass a stun, as I said. Nice. Okay, so he's running away, and we probably can't get him, so we'll just let him go. And we'll work on the other two. Notice how Banshee, even on Eternal Harvest, with only 34% evasion and her class skill, her class item, trinket, is doing pretty well, right? She's holding her own in the second row here. Even if we didn't have the Black Widow protecting her, she would probably be okay to be a quote-unquote tank at this stage of the game. So that's valuable to have. Second row, it's able to mitigate the complete damage, has self-sustain, and can stun the first two targets. So yeah, we're pretty happy with having her around.
As worthless as you were in life, you will be worth something.
Now we're going to keep the stun up and use our single target attacks. There you have it.
As your suffering ends, your service begins.
43 Digger Souls. This is another big milestone because, of course, this gives us a lot of sustain. Not as much sustain as with some other builds that don't use their Wrath as much, because we are casting the Banshee ability on like as soon as we have the Wrath available. But it's not nothing. Now I think we're gonna actually. It's a class trinket I think I want. And this is actually for not this video. But as I said, this is about taking your team over the hump of the first initial part of the game. I'm going to put him in here just so he doesn't bother us. And we didn't really want any other class trinkets. We might use the Wraith one, but we're going to have plenty of opportunities to take that. So we leveled up, we're going to get the hit points. Evasion and then Dread. Dread and then Evasion. Straight Dread. I guess we should use our skin for Alabaster. Might as well, that's not an in-game item. Ugh. Elite Spearman, huh? Alright, well. 100 Wrath off the start of the battle sounds pretty good. That's going to give us our regen. That item isn't a really high priority. Later on you're going to want the 30 Wrath per turn, so I think that's going to help us. And what it's going to do is it's going to give us that 5 hit point regeneration every single time. So we're going to sustain a lot of this nonsense that's going on. Now what we want to do is we want to get this Demolition Expert to the front. So we can give it as much help as we can. Oh, that was a good step. Yeah, again, we're just going to shuffle this guy out. You get this guy to the front so we can use his light him up ability. We'll do the back three. Okay, we'll kick Buddy up. And we're going to wait, because as soon as we get to the end here, he's going to do light him up, and then we want to do our setup. So for the same reason, we're not using our stun, or our Banshee, or our Asserted Bride. So just to light him up. So we're going to do the back 3 again. God, these spearmen are so annoying. Alright, we're going to pull Buddy forward in front of the whatchamacallit. And we're going to kick Buddy back. And they're out of their stances, so it's safe to move. We'll get in our stance here. We're actually going to stun these two. And then hopefully they get blown up by this dude. We'll wait here, see what happens. Close. Guess we'll just take them out with physical attacks. Early game, the difference between your physical and your stress attacks isn't that high, because obviously you're not injecting 1,000 points in. That was a nice easy victory. Anytime you see one of those light 'em up dudes, and you've got push and pull units, it's pretty easy to manipulate. Well, I guess we didn't have that ticking health yet, but we've got it now. Remember, said I was the smartest guy in the world. Got Digger's Souls, so we're going to take a Banshee. Banshee is the 2nd level upgrade to the Obelisk, so we'll put that in there. Now we're getting 6 to 10 Digger's Souls, so sort of making up for the deficit we get from playing on this difficulty. These aren't very good items. I think we've already got all these. I suppose we'll take the Mutant Claws.
I can use this.
Yeah, we already had that. Alright, so the Mutant Claws, I guess we'll just put it on the Bride. It's not a high tier item. Alright, so what do we got here? We got Digger's Souls, artifacts, and a forced elite fight. We got Grave, Heal. What's over here? What's over here? Now, Coffin artifact is pretty good, and then we could actually go over here again. Maybe that's the route we take. To go this way, we could cut back, though. We could go like this. It doesn't look like this is a fight with a... What I really don't want to see right now is a Rock Golem. Because if we see a Rock Golem, we're going to have to take some spells we don't really want to invest in, because we're not ready for a Rock Golem right now. Although I guess the Bride could do a pretty good job on a Rock Golem. With her Ignite. Actually, I guess an Ignite doesn't work on Rock Golems. We have a tough call. I think the fact that the bigger souls are this way, and I like artifacts quite a bit, and items, I think we'll go this way. I think we will take the elite fight. We may live to regret it. If the video suddenly ends after this fight, you'll know that we lost that one eventually and decided to cut things short. Just kidding, I'll show you either way. Alright, so we got the light him up dude here. So we push this guy back and let him do his thing. And then we'll see if we can just get a nice shuffle here and then not have to worry about him. Perfect. Ow. Oh, Jesus. Well, that's not good. Okay, so I think we'll just wait here. We'll see if we can continue using her. See how much health we can regenerate. She's now gonna get the 5 a turn. So I really don't want to have to replace her for a fight, because we haven't spent any extra parts that we haven't had to. Berserk, which is what we want. Ugh, that sucks. That's what I mean about the last guy going ham on your team. got a stun though, so that's good. Helpful. Good. Come on now. Don't let them another shot at us. Finally. Oh, you poor bride. What are we going to do with you? Okay. Well, let's see. I've got Digger's Soul, so we don't have to think about it yet. Spearman. Well, the bride's almost outlived her usefulness anyway. If she dies, we'll just replace her with the Dampier that we've got in the kitty. Let's make sure we've taken everything we can here. So yeah, I guess we'll just let the bride live or die by the RNG, because I don't think she took any damage before this. None of these are natively backline attackers. So we'll see if she can live. If she can't live, she can't live. Knock him out of the stance. Missed. That's alright. Do front 3 because we really want to hit the spearman. We'll get the stance shuffle here. Oh, now I'm worried about the bride. No, I'm really worried about the bride. That's unfortunate. Alright, well I think the Spearman's still the most dangerous. And usually we like to see this because it hurts the rest of their team. We leave them alone for a while, but we don't have the luxury of doing that because we don't want him picking on our bride like that. So we're just going to stay focused on him as much as we can. Get the stun in, which helps, but it doesn't really help her because I don't think those two can attack her. What we really want is we want this guy. Can't hit him with the bride. These are actually really good. Encouraged. Back 3 to get the spearman. Will you dodge, please? How hard is it to dodge? Alright. Still can't hit that spearman. We're gonna get to work on the Taskmaster. Oh, are you kidding me? Is that an inspired Taskmaster? Oh, we're gonna lose a unit here for sure. Unless we can keep him stun locked. So I think we're gonna pull him up front where the bride can start stun locking him. Because otherwise I'm really concerned about what he might do to us. So he's acting before the stance, so he could hurt our Banshee because she can't stun, so go with him. And then we'll get curses on them both with the ticking dot. I guess we'll debuff their strength, because that's the most likely. That was dumb. We shouldn't have stanced there because there's no reason to stance. Because actually, I guess we could have done the damage reduction. That would have been better. We'll do that next time. We've got stun man though, so it might not be necessary. I feel like we got really lucky here. And we're going to figure out what we're going to do for units this next time around. Because we've got 2 really hurt friends. Alright, 64. We're looking for 75. Still don't have enough vigor. Some dread here. No dread or evasion here. Use a heart. And she could use a heart. That's the Banshee's heart. Some more evasion, some more dread. We'll give her this too. That didn't help her for now. But we'll put her in the hut. Help her out, and we'll just use the Zampir for a turn. I don't know why the bride didn't heal. I guess because we didn't have 75 Wrath for very long. Dampier, we've only got a level 3 brain. It's the best we got, but I think we'll use this. Use her stance in the second position, so she shouldn't take too much damage there. It's going to be a bit of a passenger for a turn, but that's alright. Oh, it's the elite fight too. See? I knew going this way was wrong. What do we got here? Oh, beautiful! That's good too, but I mean, this is just too good to pass up. Alright, what do we got? Oh, we got light him up guy. Alright, so there's a rock golem in there, so we definitely need destruction spell. So we've got either teeth, 13 mana to 8 to 18, or 9 mana for 25 plus 2. 8 to 18 twice is 16 to 36, or a straight 25. I think I'll take the cheaper option.
Now I will make
Give me a blocking ward. I don't think that does anything against these guys. I don't think they have any wards. Dampier will take Dread and attack, I guess. Yeah, and we'll put this on, why not? Got it for her. And the bride is like dead. The light him up guy is going to hit the bride like right away. And she's just going to explode. So we can't use her. This is bad. We only got a level 2 brain. I think the best level 1 unit we can use here is probably the bride. Although it could be the Blood Phantasm. No, it would be the bride. This is going to be rough. I'm not going to lie, this is going to be rough. Tempted to upgrade this just because we really need the healing. Can't say I've ever done that before. But I don't really see any way around it. I don't want these guys on the sidelines for too long. So we'll probably never use this again after this turn, but it is what it is. Now we're going to go into an elite fight with a level 5 and a level 1, or make that a level 2. And that did nothing for her, so we'll just take some luck here. And yeah, wish me luck, we're going to need it. Alright, so we're going to curse stall this guy every turn. Because it is what it is. And then I guess what we want to do is we want to bring this guy up front and then use our 2 abilities on him. So let's do that. Let's bring him up front and hopefully we can just cheese this elite fight. I wouldn't feel bad about that at all. We're just going to trap on the back line. Let's do back 3. Did he do it? He did lighten up. Okay. Let's start with the rock golem. Oh. Okay. I didn't notice that. That's alright, that worked out okay anyway. Worked out really well, actually. Yeah, we'll do this. Use our stance. And we'll go single target. Even though the whip is going to be really annoying.
One more for the stars.
Yep, you're doing some work here. Maybe we should throw some nukes out on him. Probably don't need it. Another stance. Another single target. Stance again. Well, this went about as well as it could, I think. Beauty.
Mine is the winning side.
Roll 4 brain. Well, I think you guys probably get the gist of it. So I think we'll wrap it up here. I'm going to continue this run, and I'm going to put together something for you guys in a different video. But yeah, this is sort of how you run a stress composition on first floor. Good always wins, and yeah, I think it was pretty successful. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe.